Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. We're a week away from Christmas, and I'm joined with my man, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Can't complain, man. The weekend is quickly approaching, and then next weekend is Christmas. So
It's
yeah,
coming
things
quick. Every year this
it's
creeps up
coming
on you.
quick. It's creeping up faster and faster every year. I think I feel like we just took the tree down from last year.
Yeah, time goes so fast, man.
Absolutely. But you know what? Time goes fast, and you know what? The world of boxing doesn't stop either. So where do we start? I think I want to start with Teofimo Lopez. What about you?
That sounds good to me. Let's dig into it.
All right, so Teofimo Lopez won this weekend, but even I, being a supporter of Teofimo Lopez, being a fan of him, don't believe he won that fight.
I actually have a completely different take, and I didn't know what we haven't talked about what you're going to say,
Yeah,
but I
no,
actually thought he won. While I was watching, I know the commentators are biased, but I see it as this: he landed more body shots, he landed more power shots. Martin had more jabs. But if you're just watching the fight, Martin was backing up the whole time. I know he's counter punching. I mean, Lopez was the aggressor. He landed more shots. His punches are more crisp and clean. Yes, there was one knockdown. The controversial problem was the referee on the second knockdown. Was it a knockdown or a slip? That's hard to call. I thought the judges got it right. I thought Lopez won the fight personally. I
no.
thought a close fight by one round. It could have been a draw, but I thought Lopez won it. But I hear what you're
Okay.
saying. I can't really argue
No,
it too hard.
I'm not going to argue what you're saying either, because again, it could have gone either way. We know
Yeah.
this, right? It just, I think myself personally, I don't know what I was expecting from Teofimo. Maybe I'm more disappointed by the effort and the way he presented himself. We did
Mm-hmm.
talk earlier, a couple weeks ago about Sandor Martin, and he is no joke, and the guy is for real. Like you
Yep.
said a couple weeks ago, he beat Mikey Garcia.
Yeah,
A
it's a trap fight. I had a feeling. Yeah.
It was a total trap fight. And, even the comments after where Teofimo is in his corner, I don't know if you realized they picked it up at the time or not. Do I still got this? Do I still got this? If
Yeah.
Teo's going to perform at this kind of level against a Sandor Martin, and who's no joke,
Mm-hmm.
please, for full respect, full marks to Sandor Martin. Um, what's he going to do when the other boys show up in that division?
Well, it's weird because he beat Lomachenko, which is easily like he won that fight, and now he barely beat Martin. The thing is, he landed more punches. He was the aggressor, so the judges are watching it. I know the commentating, like Bradley and Ward, were a little bit biased against Teofimo, but I watched the fight and they said it's a robbery. I said I thought when I watched the
No.
fight,
I
Lopez
won't.
had it.
Yeah. I won't. I would never call it a robbery. It
Yeah,
wasn't a
it was really
robbery.
close.
It was very close, but I think because of the one knockdown and the one supposed knockdown, I'll argue that
Yeah,
one
that
as
might have.
well.
That's the
You
thing. Had
know,
he got
I
the second knockdown scored, that might have been a draw, but they didn't
yeah,
score it. The refs just had to go by what was scored. So I thought they got it right.
no, 100%. But with the knockdown and
And I'm
everything,
not Tiafimo's biggest fan, but he won.
no, and he won, and I really want to see the guy succeed. But I really believe, and we talked about this off the air a little bit. I want to touch on it. Did George take something away from him?
Mm-hmm.
Because the fight that he had before this, I mean, it wasn't really much of a fight to kind of write home about or really be analytical about.
No,
It was a tune-up
he's
fight.
got to get rid of his dad. He needs a new trainer. He needs to do something different. His dad's got to go.
I think we both agree on that completely. I think he and that those ball brothers, their
Yep.
dad. I mean, he's another bad bad coach to have in your corner. I mean, out of the three, one's doing well, I believe, right?
Yeah, Lamelo.
Right, and the other two kind of got lost.
Yeah, but they all have professional coaches. Like the dad coach, maybe he's not on the sidelines or not on the bench for the NBA, but Tiafimo's dad's got to go
No, I understand that what you're saying, but in general,
just to
like, I mean,
see if it will make a difference. Maybe Tiafimo doesn't listen. I don't know. I noticed
I'm
one thing:
not
his
sure.
dad's like, sit down." He wouldn't sit down, so I can see right there he doesn't always listen.
Yeah, but Teofimo, I'm just kind of concerned. Like I said, when Davis gets up there, when Haney comes up there, when Shakira comes up there, and Garcia even comes up there. Before those four boys come up to that division, if they're not already there,
Mm-hmm.
what's he gonna do? That's my
He was
concern.
lucky; he barely just went out, barely.
Barely went out. Like I don't know if injury played a role in this one or whatever the case may be, but it just feels like there's something missing from this kid's game, and he can't
Maybe
seem
he's not as
to
good as we thought. Maybe because he beat Lomachenko, we put him on this pedestal that he never should have been on. Maybe
well, I mean,
like
speaking of
Cambosis, he got the one big win against Lopez, but hasn't really done much since. Could be that too.
it could be that as well, but I mean, it makes you wonder though, like, okay, did he get Lomo on a bad day? Like if
Possible.
you look at the whole thing now, how it's played out, like you look at the journey of these belts, hypothetically, right? You have Teofimo shocking the world by beating what's his face, Lomachenko
Mm-hmm.
for the three titles. Did Lomo have a bad night? No one really knew. Was Teofimo the real guy?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people thought that Lomo had a bad night after he lost to George, his first title defense, the first fight after
You mean
that, right?
Teofimo had a bad
Yeah,
night?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right. So then now I'm thinking, okay, so did Lomo have a bad night? Did Teo just overperform and Lomachenko did Lomo take him too lately? And then George comes in and beats him in his first defense. And then I'm
Crazy.
thinking, okay, so did both these guys have a bad night, or was George for real? I'll tell you who is for real out of all of these guys is Devin Haney, because he won the title and he's defended it once now,
Yep. And now
right?
he's saying he wants to delay the fight against Lomachenko because of Ramadan.
Well, I mean,
And Bob Aaron's like, hey, we got it for here. Like, try to figure it out. But man, if he's fast and he can't have a proper training camp, right? That's what he's saying. So
well,
I don't know if Bob's going to cave in. We'll see.
this is an interesting thing because I mean I don't like to mix religion, politics with sports. I just it's not what we do here.
Not me either. I don't like it.
But I think that is something I don't want to talk about too much because I really don't know what the right thing is to do. Um, I mean, for
I think
example,
Bob will push the fight just because, Haney and Lomo's a big money fight,
yeah, it's a
right?
big money fight, but if the guy can't eat and if he can't train properly, I mean,
It
Ramadan,
was
if
an
he,
unfair advantage. Yeah, it's got to
you
be
know,
pushed. It would be totally unfair.
yeah. So I mean, maybe he can pretend that I don't know. Like I don't know
I
what
didn't
they
even know
can
Devin
do.
Haney was Muslim. Did you? I never heard
Yeah,
about this
yeah,
ever.
yeah, no, he's if you listen to his interviews and everything, he always starts with Salam Alaikum and what do all those Dagestani guys always say? Um uh Inshallah or whatever they say,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. I never listened to him much of his
Yeah,
interviews. So,
no, no,
but
no, he does. Yeah, they're both Muslims, man. I mean, I think his dad became a Muslim when he ended up in jail. A lot of brothers, when they ended up in jail, they become Muslims for some reason. I don't know
yeah.
why, but they take on that
But
faith
because
and
yeah, they go to Muslim or they go to Christianity because a lot of preachers come through the jail and try to convert them. And I'm not trying to say the Haney's, but a lot of guys just do that to get easier sentences. Judge, I've converted to whatever religion. You know what I mean?
no,
Probation
no,
officer.
they convert inside because then they get the special privileges,
Yeah,
right? It's not so much when they've committed the crime or when they're getting sentenced. It's once they're inside, that's when they all become religious and whatnot, so they can get those special privileges
yeah.
because
You can do
being a
this, do
Muslim,
that, hang out in the groups.
well,
Yeah,
Muslims have to pray 5 times a day, blah blah blah, all these things. So they have to make those concessions. Otherwise, they're being wrong. But you know what? I'll say this really quickly, and if someone's listening and I offend them, then please leave a comment so we know you're listening. Um, I think it's a scam, personally. I don't agree with it. I think that if you're in jail, you're in jail. You've lost all your rights and all your
I
privileges.
totally agree. Yeah, they shouldn't let that happen.
Like, it doesn't matter what religion you are or what line of faith you are. I don't get it. I just don't understand. Like, there's always all these loopholes for these vile people committing horrible crimes, and they get the best of it all. Like
Yeah.
some of these guys in jail have fucking PlayStation 5, man,
Oh yeah, they watch Super Bowl, World Series. Oh yeah.
in their cell on flat screens.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing wrong? Just saying.
No, I agree with you on that.
All right, so on Devin Haney here, I'm reading an article here that Mickey Bay, Mickey Bay?
Yep.
Mickey Bay says that Lomo does not stand a chance against Devin Haney. And after Lomo's last performance, I kind of have to agree with that.
Loma didn't look very good. He had a long layoff, but yeah, Haney will be favored in this fight for sure.
I mean, defensively and everything, the reach and all that. I mean, Lomo has to pull something out of his hat to kind of convince me that Devin Haney is not the guy. I mean, I'm not, I'm a fan, but I'm not going to say I'm the biggest Devin Haney guy in the world. But the reality of it is, man, is very simple. It's like this guy went to Australia twice, won the all four belts,
Unbelievable.
defended all four titles again in Australia. Still, he hasn't fought in America yet, right? With his
No,
titles.
not since. No.
So I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at that particular division and you look at those belts and the journey those belts have gone on since Lomo had them to where they are now, you prove me wrong. The only way I'm going to be, think any different is if I see Haney lose.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to lose. Lomo's getting older. His reflex are slowing down. He's losing his speed. He's mid-30s. Kind of like what happened to Roy Jones Jr. You rely on so much speed and reflex. You hit your mid-30s. It's harder to, you lose that half a second. And that's all that it takes at this level, especially.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I don't know
Lomo
how
will be
much.
like a 2 to 3 underdog, 2 to 3 to 1 underdog easily. Not saying that he
Yeah.
can't win it, but it's not going to be pretty.
And when are they calling for this fight?
What's that?
When are they asking for this fight? Do you know?
It's supposed to be around April,
Okay, April. So there's a lot of time still, right? But I mean, if
but
you
it's
think
during
about it,
Ramadan. So Haney's like, hey, push it back. And Bob's like, well, we're going to do it now. So I'm sure Bob will cave in. It's too big of a fight not to.
well, I mean, I don't see why they can't do it earlier than April. Both guys have had a pretty decent time off in between fights
Yeah, they
now.
could, but right before Ramadan hits.
If they really want this fight to happen, why not have it in March or maybe late February, early March?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's just what I think anyways, but then again, maybe it has to do with facilities, maybe it's, whatever the case is, but I'm sure if they wanted to, they could probably pull this off. But hey, BLK Promotions had their first event this weekend in Omaha, Nebraska. This is, I believe, the promotion of Terrence Crawford. He looked okay. I mean, expected, pretty cool
We
knockout
got
in
big
the sixth
controversy though now.
with the gloves, right?
Yeah, with the gloves. So the Sparkle Lee, the refs noticed it, pulled him to the side, put David to the other side, and he got the Nebraska Leather Commission to check the gloves out, and there was some stuffing coming out. It was fading. They said we'll give you one more round with the gloves. The problem is in the sixth round he KO'd
Knocked
him.
him out. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So now
Ever,
David
ever,
Abisayan's team is suing the Nebraska Athletic Commission. And if they overturn it, this will be a no contest.
well, I mean, he's probably
I don't
trying
know
to make.
why. I don't know why they said fight one more round with it. I know they didn't want to stall the fight. They had his backup gloves ready. I don't know why they did that.
I think just for that reason, it's kind of like, okay, the amount of time it takes to take those gloves off, cut them off, put the new ones back in, tape them all up, this and that. You're looking at an easy. I mean, they're quick. Don't get me wrong. They're not, slow in
Yeah.
that. But you're basically postponing this fight for 5 to 10 minutes there almost, right? Everlast, the company that made those gloves, has admitted to them being faulty, saying they came from a batch of faulty leather. Here's my question to Everlast. If you know the leather's faulty, if you know the gloves are faulty, how the fuck did they leave your factory?
Yeah, I just like the ref did the right thing, but the athletic commission can overpower him. I don't know why they didn't say, "Hey, time out, switch these gloves right now," because look what happened. Now they got lawsuits, and I mean,
So
we
I,
lost the fight anyways, but just unfortunate that had to happen.
what do you think of the performance overall?
What's that?
What did you think of his performance? I mean, it was pretty typical. I mean, considering who he was fighting and what, I wasn't taken away. I can't take anything away that makes me go, wow, Terrence Crawford
Yeah.
looked amazing. He looked good. I mean, he was expected
Yeah,
to
but
look
he's
good.
beating up a guy that's just like
That's
an
it.
average Joe, right?
Well, no, that's it. I mean, he was supposed to be good. He's supposed to look amazing, right? So anyone who praises that performance, I kind of question. It's like, what are you praising? If
Saying
he
how you really judge this, it's a sparring session for him.
really, it is. And it's like, okay, well, who does he fight now? Like, who's the next soup can he's going to line up? Like, I'm a little annoyed by this guy a little bit, to be honest, man. Like the fights that he should be a part of, he's not. And then he talks this
I don't know
stupid shit.
why he's doing that. I mean, he's going to be 36 years old next year. He's not a young man anymore.
Well, it's
And he's
funny
got
now.
he's not fighting anybody.
Well, now he's calling. Now he's calling um for Spence again. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, he's saying it now, but are you actually going to fight him, dude?
well, I don't know. The only way that can happen, and I don't. I got to do my research on Al Heyman because I mean, how much do you know about him? Like, is he? No one ever sees him. He's never present. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah, I know what you mean. He's a slick businessman.
No, I know he's a sick businessman, but is he?
He was one of the guys holding up the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
Well, that's the thing. So is he a big proponent of holding up this fight? Like when
Yeah,
Crawford
but at the
comes
end
out
of the
with his
day,
own promotion, it
if
says, okay,
Crawford wants it, they have no choice but to listen to the guy. The thing about it is, dude, I got a feeling Crawford's next fight might be against Manny Pacquiao, dude.
you think so?
Yeah, Pacquiao's gonna fight him again. He's gonna fight in the spring. When the
That,
lady asked him after the fight, "Are you gonna fight again?" You'll see. Before the fight, he said, "I want Spencer Crawford." He might lose, but he wants that fight because he didn't get a chance to have that fight because of the eye injury. So I think he might fight Crawford.
okay, but how do you, okay, this is a question for you then, man. I mean, it's like you're a huge Pacquiao guy, right? Do you want to see your guy go out there against a Terrence Crawford
Hundred
knowing that
percent.
he
Yeah.
can lose? Even if he knowing he can lose.
Yep. Yeah, because he's a warrior. He fights, like he said, I fight any man, anytime, anywhere. He lives up to that reputation. He's not like Floyd and them who wait you out 6 years and dodge his knife. Pocket feels he can do it. He wants to fight the best. And
Now,
if Crawford and Spence will do it simply because of the payday, if they can
mhm.
retire a legend and knock this guy out and humiliate Manny Pacquiao, why not get paid 10, 20 million for it? It'd be a huge fight. So they'll take it. If Pacquiao wants it, they'll have the fight. They'll get the fight. The question is, does he want it?
Mhm.
He was talking smack before the fight. He maybe just in it to hype up his box, like his exhibition fight. But then after he said, "You'll see." So he's going to either do exhibitions or get in a real pro fighting, and I think he's going to have a pro fight. I
How
don't
did
think he
you,
wants to go out losing to Ugos like that. I think he
okay,
thought like, hey,
I, okay, so I finally watched the
he'll be the
rest of that
underdog
fight.
though for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I watched the rest of the fight that he participated in this weekend, and I'll tell you what, man, I think we touched on it at the end of the last show here. At that point, I'd only seen the first round. How can Pacquiao gauge that he's ready for a big challenge, considering the way the guy fought against him? Like it was really, I almost feel like he was shadow boxing. Is
Yeah, it
that
was just
fair?
smart. It was just a workout for Pacquiao. 6 rounds, 2 minutes. All his money he made donated to charity.
Yeah,
He just
yeah,
want to get
yeah,
out there, feel it, the
yeah.
limelight, bounce around the ring.
But
But you
do
can't
you
gauge it off of that, no.
But do you think it's responsible of him to even consider, like I would say, take a tune-up fight before taking one of those big guys? If you really want to come back, like I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I need him to have one fight before he takes suspense into Crawford.
He
I'm
won't do it.
I know he won't do it. And I'm only saying it because I want him to get some proper rounds in before taking those guys on. Win or lose. I mean, I'm not expecting him
I
to,
think he's done so many hard fights and so much sparring, and he's still sparring. That he figures, hey, you know what? Go in there 12 rounds, give him my all, get knocked out. I win, I lose, whatever. I'm going to go out like a warrior kind of mentality. One more big fight, all
okay,
the
but
spotlight on me.
legacy though. It
What's
doesn't
that?
affect his legacy, doesn't hurt him in any
No,
way.
no, he's eight-time division champion. Only boxer ever do that. People forget he's only 5'6". He's fighting guys like Mark Wheeler are 6 foot, 5'10", 5'9", only 5'6.5", right? So no, it won't hurt him at all. If he gets knocked out, he could just say, "Hey, he lost one of the best fighters, 10 years younger than him." Pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay. And I'm
I'm
not
not saying
asking.
it'll happen for sure, but I got a feeling if he does, it'll be one of the big guys. Maybe he'll just do exhibition fights. Maybe he'll say, "You know what, I can't do it." But to me, it seems like he's going to do it. And Crawford
Well,
would say yes because
yeah.
it's easy work for me. I'd make 10 million and
No,
beat this guy up.
no, for sure. And considering that, first off, best wishes to Errol Spence, who was involved in another
Yeah, 14-year-old
automobile.
kid hit him. Yeah,
Oh my God, eh?
the
Uh,
14-year-old kid took
yeah.
his parents' car for a joyride.
Well, that's going to cost him for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
So Errol Spence, I don't know the extent of his injuries, but best wishes to him and
yeah, I think he's
speedy
fine.
recovery. Uh, but if that's the case, I don't see him coming back till maybe this time next year for a
Have
fight.
they announced a date for the Thurman fight? I think they already announced it. It's happening.
But I don't know if he's healthy enough. Maybe they may have to postpone it. How bad was he hurt?
He wasn't hurt bad.
Oh, okay, then
Yeah, I know
maybe
he just
nothing.
got banged a little bit. Like he's a little bit stiff, but they say the fight's still happening. I don't know what date the fight is happening, but it's happening. That'll be a good fight too.
I think it's like February or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
it's still happening as of right now.
Yeah, like what else do we have here? Yeah, because I mean we got Arthur B, like I mean we got Better Beam against Anthony Yard in London. We got Charlo and Zoo January 28th. I believe we have both Ryan Garcia and Javante Davis are fighting in January as well. So I'm
Yeah,
really
they haven't mentioned
excited.
enough fights before
As
they get at
excited
it.
as excited as I am for Christmas and all that stuff, I can't wait for this month to end so we can get to January.
Yeah, it should be a good year. So it looks good on
Well, I
paper,
mean,
right?
on paper, we got 4 fights in the first month that I'm looking forward to, right? Chris Cyborg was on the undercard for that Crawford fight, eh? She fought a
I
four
didn't
round
watch any
fight.
of the Crawford, just watched the Crawford fight. I didn't watch any of it. I was watching
No, I
Rocky and the Lopez. I didn't see it.
yeah,
Was she look good?
yeah, no, she looked decent, I guess. I mean, she's a menacing force. Actually, she took the
Yeah.
fight, no problem. I mean, she does have a bit of a boxing pedigree behind her, so I mean,
And speaking of
that's
the Crawford, I thought the production, the lighting, everything didn't look like high quality of a promotion to me at all.
well, I mean, everything has to start somewhere. It wasn't spectacular, it wasn't great. Hopefully, they
How
can
does this
build
guy
off of
think
that.
he's going to build his promotion when you're not fighting nobody? You're not fighting big fighters. How are you expect a promotion to catch on, dude? You're
Well, I mean,
35 years old. You're wasting all of your time. You're going to be 36 next year. Just get in the big fights. Fight Spence. Fight Pocky. I don't know. Fight anybody. But come on, dude.
I think setting it up in Omaha, Nebraska, his hometown, was the reason behind it. Like these guys are saying that they had an amazing turnout. Like, of course, it's going to be sold out. You're in your hometown, right?
Exactly. You're this legendary. Yeah.
And they said that the numbers did good on pay-per-view, and I'm sure it did only for the fact of curiosity. Now I want to see what the numbers look like for the second pay-per-view that these
Yeah.
guys throw, right? I mean, you just I just think people wanted to see
I'll put it
Crawford.
to you this way. We do a Mamba fighting out in Apps, we get 5,000 people. But we don't even have any top guys like Crawford. So you're known as a name in your town. People come out. So, I mean, we'll see what he does in other towns. I guarantee he won't get that big of a turnout.
If you keep fighting soup cans, man.
I don't know. And we still call this guy the best pound for pound fighter in the world. Like, yes, he looks good, but you got to beat people with names, though, to keep that, right?
Well, that pound for pound list has completely changed after, and we didn't even touch on this, man. I knew
I was just about to bring it up next. The man from Japan,
yeah, the man from Japan. He
118
yeah,
pounds. Holy
108
cow, what a
penny.
little guy.
That dude has basically he's undisputed.
He is. Yeah, I know.
Of
Yeah.
all the undisputed champions that we've had this year, this one completely went under the radar.
Yeah, because he's fighting Jimmy Butler there.
Yeah, but regardless, man, he brought all 4 titles together. I mean, something
Yeah,
has
he
to.
looked good, but all Butler was really doing was just covering up, threw a few punches, and just survived. Didn't even look like he
Yeah.
wanted to be in there.
Well, I just kind
He
of, I
hits
don't
good.
know.
I know what hits hard, man. He's quick. He's got good combos. He's got to come over to the States now and fight some of the big guys. He's going to go up to 122 now.
That's what he's saying. He wants to do the same thing up there now.
Yeah, junior bantamweight now. Season bantamweight. He's going to go to junior bantamweight at 122. Another top ranked fighter. Right now, top ranked, I think, is the best fighters overall. There's another good production they had on. They had Andre Ward, Butler. You know, it was good. It was a good fight. I didn't watch any undercard. I just watched that fight.
Yeah, I
It was
know for the
entertaining. He's
most
fun to
part.
watch.
No, there was just so much to fucking watch on Saturday, bro.
It was on at like 6 in the morning, so I caught it at like 7. I just went and rewatched it
Yeah,
again.
yeah, but generally though, it was a full bloody day.
It actually worked out good because I watched the Lopez Martin fight. Right after that finish, I already ordered the Pacquiao fight. I just watched the Pacquiao main event. I went back and watched it again. Ryan Garcia's brother was on the undercard of the Pacquiao fight. He lost the controversial decision. The South Korean judges was horrible out there. The refereeing, the whole horrible production.
Speaking of decisions and things that went on this weekend, I know it's boxing, but even in MMA, man, there was some questionable decisions in the world of combat sports.
I
We
didn't
had
watch any MMA because I was watching boxing, but I heard
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we had the Garcia decision, which is very controversial. I mean, for what it was. Jared Gordon, in my opinion, beat Paddy Pimblett in UFC.
I heard that. Yeah.
But what I found most interesting about that was the expression on certain individual faces that kind of made me wonder a little bit now about the UFC. Like, okay, how much of this is legit? How much
I
of
don't think
it?
anything's rigged, as I've said before in the shows. I think it's just bad judging and competence. When you're sitting there judging a fight, you always want to favor the aggressor. The crowd's cheering, and you kind of get swept up in it. And it's not like Dana White or Rogan says, "Hey, this guy's going to win," because that was to happen. It would come out eventually. The whole thing would be shut down. I just
No,
think
no,
it's
no.
incompetent. I don't think anything's
Yeah,
rigged.
very competent. But I think one could argue it when you see Dana's face. Like they're showing his face. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this. Go back if you haven't seen it, fans. Go back and check this out. It's on YouTube. It's a clip of them having the camera on Joe Rogan's face and Dana's face
Yeah, I've
as
seen
the
this.
decision is being called out. You look at Rogan's face, who's standing in the ring, and he's kind of looking over like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like,
Yeah, he's like, this is terrible
what?
judging.
Horrible. And then you look over at Dana's expression. It's an expression of relief, like, oh, thank God. Like, I mean, he's afraid that if I get it, Patty loses, he loses his luster a bit. And if you're trying to market him as the next big star, you can't have him lose. But I'll be honest, man, Jared Gordon, in my opinion, I thought it was 30-27 easy. Go back and
I
check
didn't
it
even
out.
see any of the fight. I just seen the
Yeah.
highlights and heard it, but I didn't see any of it though.
Yeah. And then you had ankle off against Jan Blachowicz for the light heavyweight title, which ended in a split draw.
Yeah, I
Even
heard about
Jan,
that.
even Jan said, I didn't win. I shouldn't have gotten a draw. I lost. Like the other guy should have won. Like
Yeah,
this is how good and honorable this man is, right? But there is the argument that people thought that Jan won. So
yep,
I'm not going to touch it too much, but overall, Saturday just had some bad calls, man.
yeah. Well, the UFC stuff sounds bad. I didn't see it, so I can't really say. But I had no problem with Lopez beating Martin. I thought he won by 1 round. Had he got the second knockdown, the ref didn't score that. Judges can't count that. People
Yeah.
forget that. All the comments read online was like, "This was a robbery." It wasn't a robbery at all. It was a draw or Lopez. I thought so.
Well, like I said, when I started the show and I said that Sandor Martin won, I think I was basing it more based on the knockdowns. Like that first round should have been a 10-8, right? Was
It
it?
was the
It was a
knockout count
10-8,
10-8. Yeah,
right? Yeah. So
but I
I
mean,
I guess it
Lopez
just
Teofimo outlanded him in punching, except for
yeah
the jabs. He had more body shots, more power shots. I
yeah
mean, what else? And he was chasing him all night. Martinez kept backing up. He was counter punching, but like
no
the refs are looking at that.
yeah
They always favor the aggressor, right?
yeah, you're right 100
So
percent you're totally right. I guess it's just the knockdowns and just the
the second knockdown is what the ref didn't score. That's what the judges can't go by that.
no for
So
sure
that's the thing. So that
for
was a
sure
10-9 round for
and
Martin,
and,
which
and
should
to
have been
me
10-8. It could have been a
yeah
slip. We're not there. I don't know. It looked like a knockdown to me, but if you watch the punch, it was just a light little punch. It didn't look like it was enough force. I always thought Lopez was going forward and slipped myself. Who knows?
yeah it could have been the
But
case,
Martin, you
right?
know what? Don't leave it in the hands of the judges. You don't know what the heck's going to happen.
No, you can't, right? But I mean, and to think the guy, I think the other thing is he took the fight on 3 weeks' notice,
He did. Yeah.
right?
He
So I
did
mean,
good. He fought hard. Like it was a good fighter.
yeah, I kind of look at Sandor Martin the same way I look at Pitbull Cruz.
Always comes up short, but always a good fighter.
100%. You
Yeah.
know,
He'll
like
fight again. He'll get another big fight. I mean,
at any other time in any other division in any other multiverse, those two guys would be the top of their divisions right now, in my opinion.
yeah.
Right, but when you're dealing with Tanks and Tios and Haney's and
And
Lomos and
Lopez is more flashy. He's more exciting to watch. Martin's kind of boring. You know what I mean? With his style, it's effective. But Lopez, the big shots, moving around, flashy shorts. It all adds
I
to the luster
I
of it,
would
right?
love I would love to see what this guy is going to do now for the psychology. I don't think his in-ring lacks. I think the psychology behind it is where he's hurting right now, just with those
I
comments.
hope Bob or somebody goes to him and says, "Hey, Teofimo, you got to get your dad out of here. You want to get to the top and keep these belts. One of these times you're going to get knocked down again. You got to get your dad out of here and do something different."
Well, I mean, right now I
It's
think
hard
there's
to
only
fire your own dad though when you got
no,
you
but
for
you
something,
have
right?
to though. I mean, it's not the first time father-son combos don't work, in my opinion. I think the only combination of father-son training right now that I think makes any sense is Bill Haney and Devin Haney,
That was working so far. Yeah, really
right?
good.
I mean, and I think it's because of that respect. I think it's because of that attitude and just the way
Well,
he
Haney
trained.
listens, right? He's disciplined. It doesn't seem like
Well,
Teofimo listens. He wouldn't even sit down. He's that sit down. He wouldn't sit
no,
down. You know
but
what I
it's
mean?
just so because you can see the kind of father-son relationship they have, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
where Devin is very respectful of his family, he honors his parents. I think that's just upbringing,
Yeah, very humble guy.
right?
And Teofimo's not humble at all.
Exactly. He's not humble. So I mean, if your dad's not humble and he's eat your fucking peas, hey, right? You know what I mean? And that's what he's teaching his son. That's what his son's gonna do,
Yep. Yeah, it's you can
right?
totally see it.
It all
Mayweather's worked
comes
out good with his dad and his uncle, so there's a few that work.
yeah, no, 100%. It just kind of comes down to the people that you're dealing with and who's who and whatnot. So um
But yeah, the monster from Japan, the man from Japan, Iowa, he's going to be a major, major star if he comes over to North America and starts fighting.
well, I think he has to because
He's
right now
exciting.
not enough people know who he is, and the guy's
That's the
fucking
thing.
real, right? I mean, people will complain, well, why is this guy in the pound for pound? Well, if all you're watching is North American or European boxing when you do decide to wake up early enough to catch it, You're missing a lot of great fighters, man.
Yeah, he'll come to American X. He needs to.
So Jared, what's his name? The heavyweight, Jared. He dressed up as the Grinch. Jared Allen.
yeah, all the top ranked guys not going second round.
That dude's
Knocked
for
out
real,
fourth in the
man.
second round.
That
Huh?
dude is for real. I like
Oh
that
yeah.
guy. That kid is a prospect to keep your eyes out. In the heavyweight division. I'd like to do this. Maybe next week we can focus on the prospects. Guys to look out for, guys to watch upcoming as the
That
year.
whole Lopez Martin card was stacked, dude.
Oh,
Top rank is they're the
Xander
number
was on
one
there
by
too.
far the most talented.
No, it was a great card because I caught
Oh,
it. I'll
yeah.
be honest, I caught it at the second two. Like I caught the last three fights. The Xander fight, who I'm really, really high on. This kid from Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
The
another
kid's
future star
amazing.
too.
He's a future star in the making, right?
Yeah.
But Jared Anderson, this kid's for real, and
Second round KO.
I love his, gimmick. Like the Grinch gimmick was
That was
cool,
cool.
man. Like he looked really good. Like the whole Grinch
Yeah.
thing looked sick, right? Deontay, take some hints. It's probably really light to wear, nothing heavy. You can handle it.
And it's good to have a good American heavyweight. So yeah, we got Fury and Usyk. All these guys are in Europe. We need a North American heavyweight. So hopefully this guy catches on and with Deontay Wilder guys, because it's always more exciting in North America.
And this is the thing, right? I mean, North America has not given us enough heavyweight boxers in
we only got Deontay Wilder, really.
Really, and he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Jared
Tyson already finished him.
Well, that's it, right? Jared Anderson wants White, Slow Joyce, or Dubois next. So he wants any of those three Englishmen.
I hope so. He's top rank is so loaded with talent right now. It's unbelievable.
I do not want to see him fight White because he'll finish White. That's a fight that I already know the outcome was. Based on what Dubois did last week, getting knocked down 3 times, I don't think he's ready for Jared Anderson. So the fight that I would like to see, if it turns out that Usyk and Fury are fighting, I would love to see Jared Anderson against Joe Joyce. That would be a fun fight.
That'd be fun, dude. That'd be really fun.
Right? That would be a real fun fight as well.
I gotta say one thing: all the other promotions need to step it up and start signing some talent. Because Top Rank is loaded all the way from Jared Anderson and all these guys, all the way up to Inoue and all these guys. It's Fury, like they're loaded, dude.
No, they are
91
loaded.
years old. This man still has the best stable in boxing.
No, for sure. And Showtime isn't far behind. To be fair,
they're not bad, but they're not quite there. But yeah, they're getting there.
But the one guy they do have on Showtime is it? No, ESPN. Oh no, he's also ESPN. Shit, man, he's also Top Rank. Ennis.
Who?
Ennis.
Yeah, Boots Ennis. Yeah.
Yeah, Boots Ennis is someone to look out for. I mean, if I was Crawford and Spence and anyone else in that division, I'd be concerned, man. You can only hold this guy back
Boots
so long.
Boots wants a piece of Crawford. He already saying that the other day.
He wants Crawford. He wants the titles, and there's 2 guys who are holding all the belts.
What's funny is you hear guys like De La Hoya and all these other jealous promoters. Bob Arum's he's an old Jew. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's senile. He doesn't know talent. Look at the roster of this guy. It's the best roster in boxing. He's 91 years old. Come on, guys. He knows what he's doing. He ain't stupid.
I'm not gonna argue with you there, man. I mean, 91 years old. He's seen it all.
Yeah.
He's broken bread with the best of the best of the
Ali
best.
fight. This guy's been around forever.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, he sat down. He spent time with legends that aren't even here with us. Like he's kind of like the Tom Hanks in The Green Mile, man. He's fucking outliving everybody.
91, pretty impressive,
right? Man. I mean, Don King is still kicking it, but I don't really care much for
He just
Don
has B, C, and B level dudes. Yeah.
Right? That's all.
He's funny though. I love listening to the guy. He's hilarious.
Don King?
Oh yeah, fun to hear.
I don't know if he's fun to hear, man. It's like hearing him talk these days, in my opinion.
Always waving the American flag, yeah.
It's kind of like fingernails on a chalkboard, man. Like fucking go away. I know.
He's entertaining.
He's entertaining.
But he doesn't have any big fighters or anything, right? He just has the regular guys,
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, Chance, I tell you what, man. Do you have anything on this day in boxing?
Two things. One of my top 5 favorite fighters, Arturo Gatti, beat Tracy Patterson 27 years ago today for his first IBF title in Madison Square Garden. And I'm going to share.
I forgot about Tracy Patterson.
My boxing memorabilia that I'm going to be hanging up in a couple of days, so I'll show it now. It might be hard to see on the camera. Okay. I don't know if you can really see it. These are autographed
Yeah, right there in the corner.
Autographed Manny Pacquiao
Move it
shorts that
over,
I picked
move it
up.
over. Oh, okay.
Can you see
Those
it?
are, yeah, I did, but you had it to the corner of the screen. Maybe move
Okay,
it
yeah, it's
over
hard to see
just
from my angle here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Very cool. How did you get those? Did you go to the
I
dressing
bought them
room?
online.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had to go to the dressing room and
No, so just another piece that I'm gonna be hanging on the wall. So I figured, you know what, I've had them for like 5, 6 years. So I
how
thought
did
I'm
you
gonna
know?
hang it up soon. So I thought I'd show it.
How do you
Yeah,
know it's a
Arturo Gotti,
signature?
27 years ago today, won his first IBF title.
Yeah.
The rest
And
is history. Madison
and
Square Garden, his first big fight.
back to Pacquiao shorts. Were they washed?
Hold on. No, they're not. They're not game used. No.
They're not game used. How do you
So
know
if
it's a
you were to buy
signature?
a pair of Pacquiao shorts used, you're looking at $10,000-$12,000 easily.
And how much did he pay for them when he bought them?
These are 700.
Are they for real? 700?
Yeah.
The fuck, man? What makes those $700 shorts? Except his signature.
One of the greatest fighters of all time signing.
No, hold
pretty
on, no,
much.
hold on. With his signature, those shorts are $700, is what you're saying.
With the signature, yeah.
Okay, if I were
Well,
to
it's
go
only
to
$100, yeah.
oh, the shorts are just like $50 to $100.
Yeah, but it's a signature. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's a signature. How do you know it's legit?
Because you get a certificate of authenticity, so you match the serial number with it online. It's verified. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, man. I only ask these questions because I don't think
If you buy stuff that doesn't have a certificate of authenticity, it could be a fake. Not
fair
always,
enough.
but it could be.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, okay. Well, I tell you what, brother man, I hear some rumblings and things happening in the background there with you. I know you got a couple more spots to hit. On that note, why don't we wrap it up here today? So, you got a hockey tournament this weekend. Anything else going
We
on?
do, yeah. The hockey tournament, and there's a lot of time at the hockey. You got to volunteer, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And
enjoy the weekend, I guess.
we have one fight this weekend. So I mean, I think everyone's
Yeah,
kind of
Riviera versus
slowing.
Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two
So I think
undisputed, so it should be a good one.
it should be a good fight. But I mean,
Sorry,
it's kind of
undefeated. I mean,
well, it's kind of cool though because there's nothing really competing against it.
no, it's on Showtime this Saturday,
Right?
right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to be catching that. So other than that, I guess maybe next week we can do a year in review show
Yes,
and
best fights and stuff. Yeah,
best fights and things like that. And then maybe we'll take a little time off ourselves for the Christmas holidays and we'll kind of go from there, but we'll keep everyone posted. Chance Michaels, be safe, my brother, man. Enjoy
you
the
too.
hockey tournament. Do your part as a parent. Proud, very proud, proud thing that you're doing. Good for you, brother.
Thank you.
On that note, I am Bobby Sampson. He's Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great ACDC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do absolutely salute you. And in the words of Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp&Chance. Guys, the weekend is fast approaching. Christmas parties are in full effect. I already had one, got another one coming up. So please, if you're going to drink, find a safe way home. And if you do decide to drink and drive, may the consequences be just. I'll leave it at that.
Usos and Jeff Hardy does.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Have a great evening. And yeah, that's it, man. Samp&Chance out.